A pleasant and a very good Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to December 15th, 2020. It's best described as just winter. It's just chilly. It's just as you'd expect mid-December to be. I think we all got really spoiled with that very mild and dry weather we had for early December. Now we're just kind of getting back to where we should be. And winter weather's here to stay all weekend into the weekend. Nothing terrible, just winter. We do have a little bit of a break in the weather from this afternoon through Wednesday into early Thursday. There will still be mountain snow shower activity, but there won't be much going on the plains other than just cold temperatures. But another trough is going to move in late Thursday and Friday. This will bring another round of significant snow to many of the mountains of the Intermountain West. And we're going to see a little bit of light snow again on the plains Thursday night and early Friday, and a reinforcement of the cold air. Then we're going to stay active into the start of Christmas week. Our next possible storm looks to be around Wednesday. We'll get a little more details as we get closer. There's a lot of disagreement on our long-range charts on whether or not Wednesday's system will be a major one or a minor one. But if you're looking at traveling Christmas week, it's going to be the middle part of next week we need to keep an eye on. Polar Express for the new year, something that we're going to keep an eye on. We'll show you why we're a little concerned about maybe an Arctic outbreak around the new year. And a little bit about that Saturn-Jupiter conjunction coming up, getting questions about that, and we'll talk a little bit about that at the end of the podcast. Today, we've got this trough of low pressure that's centered right now over the panhandle of Texas. This system is responsible for the flurries and light snow shower activity last night. The heavier snow going to be in these areas here. What's interesting about this guy right here is this is going to go up like this and bomb out and become a major mid-Atlantic storm as we get on into late tomorrow and Thursday. They're already talking about it on the national news. We're going to see some big snows there as the system comes out of the Rockies and heads that way. This is the next system that's going to come in behind it Thursday night and Friday. And there it is. As we get into Thursday night and Friday, we've got a cold front and a trough coming in from the northwest. This will be a good snow producer in the high country again, and the cold northwest winds aloft will keep our temperatures chilly. But the trajectory of the air is the North Pacific, so cold, but not brutally cold. This is where the brutally cold air is, but we're kind of cut off from it at the moment. This is what the snowfall totals look like through Friday afternoon, and you can see big snow here over a large swath of the metroplexes, probably missing D.C., but getting New York, getting Boston, getting Philadelphia, those areas there, then back into the Appalachians. Now this snow here is all part of the next wave that's coming in overnight Thursday and into early Friday. So you can see all of the mountain ranges picking up some good snow. Snow is building, really building up here in Canada, and that's going to just help generate more cold air up north. By Tuesday night and Wednesday of next week, this is that Wednesday system I talked about at the beginning of the podcast. It's a little bit more of a stronger system. It's got more of a Canadian air tap to it. So question marks on whether or not the middle of next week is going to have a major storm or a minor one. But holiday travelers, keep an eye on Tuesday night, Wednesday, and early Thursday of next week. As we get closer, we'll have more details. Now, this is what I wanted to talk about the potential for the new year. This is for the night of December 30th into the 31st, right around New Year's Day. Now you're going to need to take this with a big grain of salt because I'm showing you a computer model that goes out to 15 days, and you got to be really careful because this changes so much, these long-range forecasts. But one thing we've been hinting at is the fact that we were going to go into a negative Arctic oscillation. We've been talking about the cold air really building up in the higher latitudes. And if this pattern comes to fruition, and I think there's a possibility it could, with a big ridge building up into Alaska and the eastern Pacific, as we know, when there's a ridge here, we go into the fridge. And you can just see it. If you follow the wind lines with these black things there with the little flags, that's the wind direction aloft. You can see that the trajectory of the air into the United States is coming right off, well, the polar regions, the Arctic Circle regions, Hudson Bay, because this high pressure ridge here displaces the cold air south. Now, if this happens, we're going to ring in 2021 much colder. If it doesn't happen, it'll be because the jet stream stays more straight and locks up that Arctic air up here. So just showing this to you as a lead in to what could come right around the New Year's time frame. We'll keep you updated. It's fun to watch because you get into these things. You'll hear on the news about the polar vortex, Arctic outbreaks, that type of thing. We're seeing hints that it may want to develop late December, early January. Now let's talk a little bit about the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction coming on up. Some people are labeling it the Christmas star. Jupiter and Saturn will be so close together on the night of December 21st, it'll look like one star. And it's going to happen on the winter solstice, just before Christmas. And there are folks who have gone back in time and think that this planet conjunction may have been the Christmas star in biblical times. What I want to show you is the prediction for cloud cover for this evening. This is for this evening. This is not for the 21st. This is a prediction of how much cloud cover will be. These numbers show you how much of the sky will be shrouded in cloud. You can see that there's a large part of Colorado and parts of eastern and southern Wyoming and western Nebraska that'll have clear skies by this evening. A lot of clouds elsewhere, though. So you're going to want to start keeping an eye and look for Jupiter or Saturn in the evening. Now, keep in mind, the evening is as early as 4:30 now, and as early as 4:30, 4:45, 5 o'clock in the evening, you're going to see Jupiter and Saturn already close together. You want to look to the southwest. Now, you have to look really low on the horizon. That's one tricky thing about this conjunction. It's going to happen low in the sky, not high in the sky. In fact, it's right now, Jupiter and Saturn are only going to be up around 15 or 20 degrees off the horizon to the southwest. So you have to have an unobstructed view to the southwest in the coming days to see Jupiter and Saturn come together. And we'll give you these cloud prediction forecasts as we get closer. But it's a good idea now to go out on these evenings where there's a break in the clouds, look to the southwest between 4:30 and 6:30 and try to find them so you'll know where to look when the 21st comes. Thanks for listening and watching the Day Weather Podcast. Have yourself a good Tuesday.